Oh, welcome back, Wagoneers. I don't really have a voice to do today because I could have attempted a very, very poor Harry Carey impersonation, although I guess all my impersonations are pretty poor.
You're making spot on.
But yeah, so in today's, in no particular order, we're going to do our top 5 favorite sports logos of all time. Professional sports logos. We're excluding the collegiate realm today because there's just a vast array of logos.
A lot of colleges.
So mainly the 4 professional.
Sure belongs to Frank.
Maybe 5.
You know, if you want to include some soccer ones, you can. So anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I don't have any soccer.
Alright, let's see here. I had to dig deep here. Alright, honorable mention. Let me make sure. 1, 2.
Is this in a particular order?
Yes. Honorable mention. In no particular order.
He's just like, yes, like that's not a thing.
DC United has a cool fucking logo.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike is starting things off with a soccer team.
Yeah.
So
Soccer
is he
team,
gonna
DC
actually-
United.
Is that honorable mention?
So that
That's yeah, honorable mention.
So we have discussed that Russell and Biff are going to partake in a hockey pick challenge. They're going to pick a hockey team to start following, and Todd and I have agreed to start pick a soccer team to start following. Mike, does that mean you're going to pick DC United to start following?
I don't know. I just like their logo.
We'll go about the same. We'll go about the same route as the Golden Knights.
Translation: the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Bigger question is: will the Golden Knights be in his top 5 logos?
I don't.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, since he did say that was part of the reason why I selected him.
If I started following a soccer team, it wouldn't be a local one, or I mean United States one.
Okay.
MLS.
It will not be MLS. Correct. Anyway.
It would be Bundesliga.
So that's my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention logo would be the Broncos.
Looks like something that would go
Which
on.
one?
Retro or
Like the
new?
90s, I guess.
90s Bronco?
I mean,
Like
the
the
curve
John
one,
Elway?
the swoop looking one, or the
No,
one
no,
with
no.
the D with the
Bronco going through it.
The one to John?
The John Elway?
Yes,
John Elway.
Yes.
The horse jumping
Yes.
through the big
Well,
D.
John Elway
Yes,
Super Bowl.
the D, the big
Super Bowl.
D.
John
The big
Elway
D,
had the new one.
The big D.
Yeah.
So
Super Bowl loser
Big
John
D.
Elway had the old D.
no, the big D.
Big
I like the big D
You
one.
like
It's
the
going
big
to be
D?
your D.
I like
You like
the
a big D?
I like the big D one. So that's my 2 honorable mentions.
He's-
All right, my number 5, the Golden Knights.
All right.
Liar.
Boo!
Liar.
Such
I like
a cool
it.
logo.
It is a cool logo. It really is. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say.
It's a cool logo in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool logos, right?
That's what the segment is, aren't we? We're not in the trust tree.
The trust tree in the nest.
Next
You
one
understand?
is the Pelicans. I like the Pelicans logo. I think it's pretty snazzy.
I like it.
May or may not be on my list.
Especially
Foreshadowing.
the 2023 City Connect with the
City
highlighter green.
The bones,
The red eyes.
the voodoo look
Yeah.
with the bones.
What about the baby?
John Bones Jones.
The mascot.
The baby. No.
King Cake Baby.
King Cake Baby.
King Cake Baby.
That thing's like the stuff of nightmares.
No, I don't really like that.
Whoever designed that is
And they bring it back
Stephen
because
King fan.
they bring it back because it causes such a stink. People get so afraid of it, and offended by it.
Anyway, fine.
Number 3 is the Marlins. The new Marlins.
I can agree with that
I
one.
like the new Marlins logo.
The neon looking M,
It's the M with the little marlin like kind of attached to the
that
M.
fish thing going over. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
it's a marlin.
It's a marlin. Oh.
That fish thing.
I snorted. It was so funny. Anyway, number 2, the old Hornets.
Like Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah,
90s,
Charlotte.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charlotte
More
Hornets.
new
Yeah,
Charlotte.
definitely. It had to be Charlotte. Yeah, like with the big fat bee thing. You know, the Hornet.
Did you have a starter jacket?
Or the Hornet.
I did have a starter jacket, but it wasn't a Hornets jacket.
What was your starter jacket?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I thought you were about to say, that logo, that big B-looking thing the Charlotte Hornets used to have.
Yeah, it's a Hornet.
Yeah, it's a Hornet.
What else did Mike say? He was a Tony DeSelli fan.
What was that, number 2?
That was 2.
He's all of famer.
And I think my favorite, y'all are gonna crucify me, really.
Yeah.
My favorite logo, that's number 2 on the
It's
list.
the big fat beat looking thing.
Have a hat with that.
So, number 1 on my list, favorite logo. Yeah, y'all are gonna fucking roast me, man.
All right.
Who's it, Mike?
Chicago
It
Bears
is
team.
a hockey team. I always thought the logo looked pretty cool. I didn't pick this hockey team as the one that I wanted to follow. But it's the Blackhawks.
The Rogers Schmabel.
I think really that's one of the top cool looking logos out there.
This
I
is
can't confirm or deny if that's on my list.
Stone-faced Native
This is-
American short.
But this is not a surprise because you told us this before we started the whole process of you picking your team, and we actually all had that kind of factored into our list somewhere because of that. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Not a bad looking logo.
Number 1.
I thought you were going to say the Nashville Predators, and I was going to throw a
No.
chair at you.
Honestly, I thought I might have been saying the Panthers.
I'll go next because mine's pretty just arbitrary based on what I liked as a kid.
Mine are all the same, but yeah.
Okay, well,
You go
I'll go. Did you want to go next?
No, go ahead.
I'll go third.
All right, Sean's going
Third,
third in order.
no.
We'll do a no particular order.
No particular order.
All right, my first honorable mention, the most recent logo that I started to like was the Pelicans logo. I think when I first saw it, I was like, man, it's actually legit. It's a good logo. I don't know why y'all are shaking your heads no,
Nine.
I'm shaking yes.
but no, you are, but them two.
Because it's basketball.
I got 2 basketballs on mine.
All right, my other one is the Redskins logo. It's in
The who?
Redskins. Which I heard they're actually
They're trying to
reverting
back.
back to the.
Those should be the Commanders and have like a fucking redskin on their fucking shoulder or something. Lame ass.
Another stone-faced Native American.
Now I have 2 contradictory logos. They're rivals. First, I'm going to say the Cardinals logo, which is that grows up for me enjoying the Cardinals because my dad loved the Cardinals.
But do you have a particular one? Because Todd ended up having, we had to go circle around an extra day to go get this ball Todd wanted that had like 17 different logos.
Yeah,
on
but
it.
the best
Is
logo is the
it-
one
are
where
they-
it's like angry looking over his shoulder. And
Are
I
they
hated
all-
that logo
I just-
more.
Are they all
Just-
different variations of like the little cardinal and a twig or something?
No, some of the
The
Cardinals.
twig's
I
a
don't
little
know
bit
which
bigger
one.
on this
I don't
one.
know which.
Some are just the STL, some of the birds.
I'm gonna
It's the one with the bird is.
I'm assuming Biff's talking about the one with like the
the
bat with the
traditional-
two
yeah,
with
with
the two
the
cardinals
birds.
on the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. And I'll do the polar opposite to that. I've always liked the Cubs logo. I mean, I don't like the Cubs.
Like,
I like the Cubs logo.
It's the best logo.
I think it's a. I don't know. Is it made?
That's
Yeah, I know
you
it's
like
a
a C? Yeah. I know.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so
but-
plain, man.
you like the
So
C.
basic.
You like,
So mid.
So the C with the
It's
circle.
not busted.
So not like the bear, not the
Is it
bear
like the
logo.
bear?
The C with the circle.
I like the C with the circle. I think it's cool.
So I was gonna say the Heat, like Miami Heat, but then I thought about it. I was like, it's just a fucking basketball.
It's on
It's on
fire.
fire.
But it's on fire.
It's on fire.
Well, the Phoenix Suns logo for a long time was just the basketball with like the
The
little
sun around it.
the sun around
That's a
it
good
doing the
logo
thing. That-
too. That's a
yeah,
good logo.
but that's a great logo.
I had their hat.
That's very clever.
Anyway,
All right, another one. My last 2 are hockey teams.
Woo!
The Mighty Ducks logo from. I mean, they're new. They're the one that in the movie when they came out with the new uniforms in the second film.
The hockey mask.
Yeah, with the hockey mask and everything.
Yeah,
That's my favorite. Yeah, exactly
you
that.
cheated. You saw that, no?
You cheated. And my last one, and it happened to be Mike's last one.
Oh,
It's the Blackhawks.
Chicago Blackhawks. Two number-
I like the logo.
Oh,
I used to pick
Blackhawks.
them on ESPN Hockey Night or whatever. Like, surely I didn't know a single player or whatever. I was like, oh, this logo looks cool. And
is
like,
that your number 1?
No particular order. These just
At one point, I did want to get the jersey that he wears in Christmas Vacation, the Blackhawks Griswold jersey, and have it say Griswold on it.
Somebody at Lucky Rabbit had that on.
Dane and Matt Batty would be proud.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna support. That's not gonna be my hockey pick. Per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just pick purely on logo. I'm gonna do some research.
next episode we need to start this. If we decide 2 weeks from now, Biff and Russell start doing
Let's
their
do some
research on
research.
hockey, and then Todd and I will follow with soccer. And Mike, if you want to join
Soccer.
us, and then
Look,
Sean, I don't know if you
I wouldn't hesitate to buy a soccer jersey of this favorite team.
All right. This will be quick. One base. Well, I think I have 9 on this list, but I don't have like a story behind all of them. But the only one baseball that I had to go with because like they're all just kind of like the only one that's memorable for me was the '90s Astros logo with the
Oh yeah, it was.
gold,
It was.
you
Yeah,
know,
the gold.
the gold
sign.
star with the
Yeah.
Astro with it. I mean, I had a hat, the pinstripes, and all that.
Because we would go to Astros games.
You know, and my parents taking me to Houston in like 6th grade and shit like that, and we'd go to games and stuff. That would be I mean, maybe Mariners or something, but yeah, that was the one that's memorable to me.
That was the closest MLB team.
that was before they became dicks.
Yeah,
Holy cheated.
that was like the Biggio Bagwell era.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where it ranks. It's been said before, but for me, Pelicans or Hornets is the Fleur de Lis logo. Specifically, when the Hornets and Pelicans, I have multiple hats with the Pelicans Fleur de Lis logo.
Yeah.
I don't have any with the regular, with the wing spread, or any, just that. I do have the regular Hornet, but then I like the Hornet Fleur de Lis too. I still wear that shirt, Uncle Sal's old shirt with that old Hornet Fleur de Lis. I wear that to work probably like every other week.
Was your groom's cake half Saints, half Hornets Fleur de Lis?
Yes, it was. It was the Saints and the Hornets Fleur de Lis. Yeah, next to a nice Colts horseshoe.
Yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah.
There could have been the worst time for that because that was when Peyton got hurt.
Yeah, right.
They had like Curtis Painter was starting for them, and I have a Colts logo, and they're freaking awful.
That's right.
I was like in between when Peyton got hurt and then they drafted Andrew Luck. It's like I get married the year that they're freaking 2-14 or whatever now. But I know. And so anyway, yeah, Pelicans, Hornets, Fleur de Lis. So staying on basketball, again, 90s. I have to go one because of my love in the jacket that I had was the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I had it. It's still at my parents' house in my old room. The blue walls and the Orlando Magic logo, banner, or whatever it is, runner around the top of my room and everything with all the silver. I remember like the starter jackets, whatever. No, I think I had Pro Player. I didn't have starter ever. It was like a Pro Player jacket, and it was like I just liked it the way that the silver shined on the jacket or whatever, and that Magic logo or whatever. So that, and then very similar reason, I had a hat with this logo on it. Was the first ever Raptors logo.
Yeah.
And it was like a black hat. I think it had a purple bill, and the raptor had the claw, the toe
Yeah, I remember.
was silver, and it shone. It was like shiny like that on the hat. I remember I was obsessed with that damn thing. I wore it like every day to camp, and
I remember that because I was at camp.
didn't know shit about the team, but I love that Raptors.
That is a cool logo.
Yep. So then, second to last, I'll do quick hockey, and I had a visor of this one. I'm still trying to get a Yager jersey when I can find one that's decently priced. This logo is the Capitals logo from like the 2000 to 2002 era.
The Eagle or the Capitol?
The Eagle, yeah, the Eagle, the black jerseys with the Capitol buildings on the shoulders.
Yeah.
That's I definitely love that team then when they had Yager and all that. And yeah, the logo and the colors now is garbage.
And they actually taken the Capitol building logo and had that actually as the center logo at one point too. Which is also
Well, that was they either had the one if the Eagle was on the chest, they had the Capitol building on the shoulders, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
The black ones had the Eagles on the shoulders.
That was a cool time.
Yeah. And then for hockey, that another one that again nothing, don't really know, don't have a jersey, don't really know much about the team, but I always thought was an interesting concept was the Minnesota Wild. The way it's like the wolf with the with the trees in it, and the sun.
Silhouette type deal.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of cool looking, and just a clever concept. But then one I do like of all time for hockey is the Canucks logo.
Yeah.
The C with the whale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, definitely not the old one that looked like a fucking skate or something. It looked like a German flag. That's that beret jersey I have. It's like black, red, and yellow.
Like a German flag.
Seriously, it's black with like red, yellow, and orange stripes on it. And it just says Canucks, and it's like in the shape of a skate. Like that was freaking garbage, but you know.
So what is a Canuck?
I think it's like a slang term for
Canadian.
Canadian. It's like a nickname for a Canadian person.
I thought it was like a derogatory term.
I know, that's what's funny. It's kind of like Redskins or something. It's like, is it racist or we don't know.
Maybe Canadians.
It's like I heard people say like, oh, those damn Canucks.
Yeah, it's like saying like Polacks or something. It's like, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
offensive or not? We don't, So, and then rounding this off with football, I have to go with, this was not the Colts logo that it's always been, the horseshoe, but the throwback logo of the bucking Colt with the helmet coming off. I have a throwback hat with that, and I always thought, like, why don't they ever have a throwback or something where they put that on the helmet? You know, it's like that's kind of like the Browns. Well, they'll paint the dog or they'll paint that elf on the field, but it's never going to be on the damn helmet. It's like they're so hooked on the horseshoe or hooked on the nothing that's on the Browns helmets. But then, last but not least, I have to go with the old, first logo I fell in love with was the San Diego Chargers. Yeah, I used to draw that fucking lightning bolt every time that I drew it. It looked like shit. I always tried to get the curvature right on it. It never looked right every time I drew it on a notebook or something. But yeah,
They're about to lose.
I was obsessed with that lightning bolt. Yeah. Oh, they are. I'm not even paying attention to this game. I thought they were
setting
up.
up a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, didn't I say that earlier that Mahomes was going to act like we eked out another one and act like it's just, another day in the office for us.
It's such a coincidence.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They win another fucking nail biter game.
That's it for me.
I'll go ahead and go next. All right, I'll tap into what Biff said. A lot of these just tie into my childhood and what really pulled me into being a fan of these teams. I'm gonna throw a couple of honorable mentions out there. I decided to keep it two for every of the four major sports. So I'm gonna go 3 honorable mentions here. Fucking winning! You gotta shit me.
God.
Oh.
These guys
For the listening audience, the
Unicorn.
Chiefs field goal kicker
just
dunked it
that's my
off the upright into the
Doinked it in.
goal for them to win.
Okay, so on that note, honorable mention number 1, I have 3 honorable mentions. The first one is going to be going to the NBA, and it's actually going to be the more modern version of the Memphis Grizzlies logo. Back when they first started out as the Vancouver Grizzlies, they kind of had the green and pink and whatnot, and the Big Bear logo. I actually like it better as the blue and yellow, just the face of the bear. Back in the Mike Conley days when
They like that teal or something or green.
they still kind of do it. It's like a sky bluish, but yeah, back in the day it was like a green and pink around the big brown bear.
That was the Vancouver Grizzlies.
So I'm shifting more to the Memphis Grizzlies, where it's just that big blue bear face. That's one of my favorite logos in the NBA. Number 7, I'm going to stick with the NBA, and I think Sean already mentioned this one, the Toronto Raptors. So I got the 2 expansion teams that kind of came in at the same time with the Vancouver Grizzlies and Toronto Raptors, except I like the Memphis Grizzlies logo. But the idea of the Velociraptor dribbling the basketball, I think the number 1 name you really kind of think of with that is Vince Carter when he would do the slam dunks wearing the jersey, and
Damon Stoudemire.
Todd thinks of Damon Stoudemire, but
Percy Miller.
But I think the Vince Carter is that face where you have the Velociraptor dribbling the basketball on that white pinstripe jersey, purple and red.
Mean.
So yeah, the 2 basketball logos I'm gonna say are gonna both be honorable mentions, and it's gonna be Memphis Grizzlies, Toronto Raptors. Last honorable mention, I'm gonna go to the NFL. A lot of these also kind of tie into my favorite jerseys. If we go back, if you're a fan of the show, and you go back and watch our top 5 or listen to our top 5 favorite sports jerseys. But last honorable mention is going to be the old school 80s, 90s Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they did the creamsicle,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have the pirate with the little knife in his mouth. That is a really cool logo, and I love the color scheme to go with it. So, and you know, Baker Mayfield's one of my favorite players, so I really enjoy when they actually wear those orange creamsicle jerseys with throwback helmets. Tampa Bay Bucks 80s and 90s logo comes in the last honorable mention. My number 5 has been mentioned by Biff. Might have been mentioned by Mike as well. And that is going to be the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And I can go two ways with this because obviously it's been mentioned, you know, from the movie when they came out and wearing the duckbill goalie mask. I got the Wild Wing mascot stuffed animal here in the man cave with me. That one.
goalie mask from the movie, when they were like zooming in on the girl, you know, like she and like I was like, man, like watching it, I was like, that mask is so cool. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And then they've actually, you know, we'll go back to the same thing, go back to the uniforms, the sports uniform episode that we did. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks actually did an alternate jersey where they had the full-bodied Wild Wing mascot on the jersey. And I thought that was extremely cool. So anything they've done with that duckbill mask, and this year they decided to keep the duckbill mask but go with their primary jersey as orange. So it's an orange color with that duckbill mask. So, I mean, the Anaheim Ducks definitely have one of the coolest logos in professional sports.
The one where they won the Stanley Cup was terrible. It's just like the duck.
Yeah,
The duck foot that looks like a D. And I think the fan base had agreed on that, and they wanted to go back to the old school duckbill mask. So that's what they did for this year. But they're trying to keep the orange coloring to keep a little bit of the previous logo. Number 4 is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals, and I like,
Yeah.
and I can go two ways with this too because they also have the big. Obviously, when I think of the Bengals, I think of the big tiger face, but I also really like the B logo that has the tiger stripes inside of it. Actually, before my house burned down, I used to have a beanie that had that B with the tiger stripe logo in it, and I really liked that one as well. But part of me that sucked me into being a Boomer Esiason fan as a kid was just the Bengals logos, the Bengals uniforms. I just really enjoy that. Number 3, going to go to the MLB. One of the first logos that pulled me into baseball was the Cincinnati Reds. And I can tie this into 2 as well. They have the Cincinnati logo with the C and the guy running through it, and that logo, and he's got a baseball head. And his name is that they call him the Running Man. But then they also have Mr. Redlegs, which is a guy in a white pinstripe suit with a big long mustache. Very similar to Running Man, but I used to think both of those are cool, and I guess you can kind of tie that in a little bit with Mr. Met as well. Just the logos that had the baseball head, I thought that was really cool. But Cincinnati Reds, Mr. Redlegs, and Running Man were really cool. So they come in at my number 3. Number 2, going back to the NHL, my favorite team, the Los Angeles Kings. Alternate logo that they had was called the BK logo because they referred to him as the Burger King. So if you go back to the 90s and you look at their white and gray jersey with a king face with a purple beard, they call that the Kings BK logo. That's going to come in at my number 2. Really cool logo. I got a bobblehead with it up here. Yeah, right up here. Got this Bailey.
Oh yeah, Bailey's good.
There it is.
Oh, and he's got the Burger King BK logo on his jersey. Very cool looking jersey that they used to wear in the 90s. Don't really wear it too much anymore. I still need to get me one for my collection, but they're pretty expensive and they don't sell them on DHgate. So King's BK logo comes in at number 2. And my number 1 comes to the extinct Chief Wahoo from the Cleveland Indians. One of the coolest logos to ever be created for sports. One of the main reasons I became a Cleveland Indians fan. I hate the fact that it's viewed as racist and is no longer part of the league anymore. Because as a kid, you don't really look at that and think that, and you just look at it and say, man, that's a really neat looking logo.
Yeah.
And that really pulled me into being a Cleveland Indians fan. I've stuck with the team as they become the Guardians, but I really do miss that logo. Chief Wahoo favorite logo of all time?
He does have really white teeth.
I have a few of them that are kind of similar to Travis's. 4 honorable mentions, and one of them I just kind of I just thought of because I couldn't leave it out. Last one's going to be, as Travis said, the Cincinnati Reds, particularly the Running Man logo. I just thought that was really cool as a kid to have some little cartoon guy with a baseball head. Thought it was unique. Really kind of stood out to me. And you're going to find that most of my logos are very
Very good logo. I should put it in my film.
That was definitely Todd when he was a
Wait,
kid.
the red guy with the mustache or no mustache?
No mustache.
No mustache. That one right there.
Yeah.
That's Running
I
Man.
didn't even see like that one. I never even knew as a kid. I knew that Red Legs was the mascot, but I knew they actually included him on the logo.
I think Red Legs was actually older than Running Man, and they brought him back.
But I mean, a true story behind this though. Like, I mean, Travis,
Stash, no stash.
I had a pillowcase with all the NFL logos on it when I was a kid, and Travis had the MLB logos. And a lot of the ones on the MLB pillowcase that Travis had were all like the old like throwback logos, which is kind of how me and Travis picked our favorite teams, honestly.
That's what you do as a kid.
That's neither here nor there. My second honorable mention is going to be Elfie the Elf, the Cleveland Browns.
That's a really cool
Elf.
one. Yeah.
Obviously, the Cleveland Browns uniforms are total shit. They have a plain orange helmet with the Browns uniforms. The uniforms are nothing special, but the little Elfie the Elf logo
That's a cool
is
one.
really cool. I wouldn't even mind having a hoodie with that on it just because it's a cool logo.
I like the dog. Then they should put that
Yeah,
brown
the
dog,
dog's
that
pretty
brown
cool.
dog head. They should put on
They
their
should
helmet.
do something.
I used to. And then when
Do
I was a
something.
kid, I had a pajama set for the Cleveland Browns that had a bulldog on it.
Both of them.
But I think the Elfie the Elf logo is really cool, despite the fact that the Cleveland Browns uniform suck balls. Third honorable mention, I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks because they're my
That's a
favorite
good
team.
one.
And
That's a good one.
I probably like the newer Shark better than the older, the original Shark logo. They included the little orange color scheme in it, and the Shark looks a little bit more angry. Of course, I like the Finn logo as well. I got that one tattooed on my wrist, but I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks, the current logo, is my third honorable mention. My last honorable mention, I just kind of thought of it when Biff said the Anaheim Ducks and Travis included it. Not necessarily the jersey that's on there, but the one that Travis has with Timu Solani, and it's the Wild Wing logo particularly. It was an alternate jersey. I think it's really cool. I think the stuffed animal that Travis has at school was a great find that we found at the All-Star Resort when we were staying in Disney World as a kid. That's my last honorable mention is the Wild Wing Anaheim Mighty Ducks logo. And 5 was my favorite, I believe it was my favorite jersey pick of all time, and that's the Calgary Flames horse head alternate logo.
Yeah.
The horse face breathing fire. I just think it's a badass logo. Probably should use that a little more than the plain ass C with the flames coming out the back. I think it's a shitty logo. It's just very catchy, very cool. And even the color scheme on the jerseys, the black, the orange, the red, super cool. That's my 5th. Number 4, the New England Patriots old school Patriot logo.
Yeah.
Again, I think the uniforms have a lot to do with it. I like the white helmets with the cartoon logo, and of course the blue and red stripes in the white jersey or the red jerseys looks good. I think it's way better than the current Patriot face that they have on the helmet that looks like John Ehret.
It definitely looks better. I forget that when they first went to that, like, in the 90s, like Super Bowl, whatever, days or whatever, it was still like a lighter blue or whatever, and it was like when you see like old Willie McGinnis, when he was like a rookie, it was like those jerseys are awful.
Number 4 is the old school Patriots. I would assume that, I didn't look at the dates, but it's, the 1980s, the early 90s, kind of cartoon sketch logo. Number 3, New Orleans Saints or Saint logo.
There you go. I thought about
Okay.
that one.
I gotta add to that.
I would say Florida Lee is nothing special, but I think the old Travis has the clock sitting up there, that's what I'm pointing to, and I got the tattoo
Yeah, I got a hat with the Cersei.
I think that's the best logo that they have. Very underappreciated, underused logo. I think when he originally came out, his name was Charlie Chin. But again, I like cartoony logos. Oh, they're great. Oh, the Saints have a good one with that Charlie Chin Cersei logo. Number 2 was in Mike's top 5, and that is the Big Fat B Charlotte Hornets logo.
Yeah.
I was a Charlotte Hornets fan.
Big fat B looking thing.
I was a Charlotte Hornets fan as a kid, mainly because of this logo, but obviously watching the Charlotte Hornets, they had a great team in the 90s era. Larry Johnson was my favorite player as a kid.
That Patriots jersey.
Those things look like shit.
Yeah.
But I believe when I was a kid, I also had like a little, when you would go to like Security Sports and Sports Unlimited, you'd be able to get these little basketballs. I think I had a Charlotte Hornets and a Timberwolves. And, of course, I had the starter jacket. It hands down one of the best sports logos ever. So I'm surprised Mike was the only one that had that in there. I mean, Patrick still has yet to go, but
we gotta clarify. It's the big fat B.
the Big Fat B
Looking thing.
Charlotte Hornets logo. Drew Bledsoe, my guy.
Yeah, look at that red, wide red numbers there.
Yeah, so and my number 1, the Baltimore Orioles Wallspur logo. I have it tattooed on my ribs.
Prove it.
Again, going back to Travis's pillowcase, that is how I originally became a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Prove it.
I saw that logo, didn't even know it was a bird. Like, I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was a little cool looking thing with a bat. But again, going with the black and orange color scheme, it's a really badass logo. That's it. It's my number 1. Baltimore Orioles Wallspur logo.
What's that called?
It's called the Wallspur logo.
Wallspur.
I was looking at. I don't know what it's named after, but when I was looking, I think it's actually on the stadium. Maybe it's on the top of the dugout, labeled as that.
No.
But I was just looking at Baltimore Orioles cartoon logo, and that's how I figured out what it was called.
Some dude named Wallsburg.
Maybe it was the guy that drew it. Anyways, yeah.
All right, I'll round it out. 2 honorable mentions because I follow the rules. First honorable mention.
But we set rules on
What rules?
honorable mentions.
We never had rules.
A top 5 should only be 5. We somehow allowed honorable mentions
Top
in,
10s.
and then it became a top 10, top 15 for some people. That happened. Anyway,
By categories too.
You don't want to exclude some really good ones.
He had categories.
the
of
point
this.
is to make you have to make the tough decision of narrowing
Tough
down.
decision is in my top 5.
We don't do that.
Yeah, but
How about
whatever.
that logo?
You remember early on
Make the
we-
college logo.
Early on, we actually did because I remember thinking
Angry
about
Wave.
that favorite band episode,
Uh-huh.
and there was some that we didn't mention that really should have been mentioned.
Which was the idea.
I feel like we did that band one so long ago. I feel like such an idiot of like ones. I'm like, I listen to this band all the time. It didn't even come to my mind at that
Because
time.
we were also annihilated drunk on that.
Also true.
Yeah, that's fair
That happens
Fair
a lot.
enough.
My second honorable mention will be the Orlando Magic.
What was your
Yeah.
first one?
That's number 2. And then that'll be
going
my
up.
first honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
My second honorable mention, then the first one. We go 2, then 1, then 5.
Okay, got you.
So
It's in a particular order.
this is in particular order. The second honorable mention belongs to the Orlando Magic. A couple people have mentioned it before, but it's iconic, especially on the jersey with the pinstripes. It's just a really simple but clean, but good look.
My lord.
Um, So here's where my list will get a little controversial in the sense that it's from a major sport, but the team does not play in the highest division of the sport. My first honorable mention is the old Montgomery Biscuits logo,
Oh,
which just had the biscuit with the eyes on top and it had butter for the tongue. It's fucking hilarious.
I wanted to mention the baby cakes
I
logo.
thought you followed the rules.
I don't. Not when they're my
I still have that
Breaking
hat.
the rules.
I still have that hat of that.
we
logo.
should do a separate minor league.
Yeah,
one.
minor league.
That's going to take a long time to get through.
Yeah,
But-
I'll have to sift through.
So my number 5,
Too many
and it's
honorable
been mentioned a few times. Todd recently just mentioned it. It's the '80s Patriots throwback logo.
Yeah.
Especially on the red jersey with a white helmet and white pants. It's super clean, but it's a great looking logo from back in the day. Irving Fryer was the player that made me think of this and remembered it, ingrained it in my head.
Not Tony Eason.
No. My number 4, staying with football, is the creamsicle Bucks.
Yep.
The pirate with the knife in his mouth, the hat with a feather on it. Also because of the creamsicle, the color layout, it's just iconic. I love it. I hate the team, but it's a great logo.
Yep.
Won't argue with that. My number 3 has also been mentioned. It's the Anaheim Mighty Ducks from like the D2 era, because more so the movie and just how that brought that logo to prominence, and everyone had it or wanted it.
That era.
My number 2, again, more controversy. It's a major sport, but the team is not in the highest division. It's the old first generation of the New Orleans Brass logo.
Yeah.
With all the brass instruments making like a sort of semi-Florida League kind of logo.
What in the world?
You said
in the
you
world?
officially were
If
following
memory
those
serves,
rules.
these are minor league teams.
Yeah.
What in the world? You're breaking all the rules.
Yeah,
And
but
then
He's following them but breaking them.
This is called
Yeah.
Patrick Breaks the
I thought we disagree
And then
with
he's
you
gonna
on these
preface-
facts.
I make my own fucking rules.
He's gonna preface into like saying that he
I
follows
follow
the
the
rules.
rules.
Yeah, I follow rules in terms of like I don't have 14 fucking honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Shut up, Mike.
All right, go ahead.
That's
Anyway.
where we disagree with each other. Excellent.
Pat, do
things.
you drive a Subaru?
No, but if I
And on that note, my number 1 is from soccer. But it's not
oh
soccer
god,
one.
oh god,
It's not the one you're
Reality
thinking of.
Grid.
It's not. Don't ever say that name in my
I know.
presence. It's Arsenal Football Club.
Okay.
It's the Gunners. If you've seen the logo, it's
It's a
the
good
big
one.
cannon with the wheel. It's the color scheme with the gold, red, white, and blue and navy blue makes it. But it's just a simple, clean logo. The fact that their nickname is the Gunners makes it even better to go with the logo. I don't love the team nearly as much as a lot of my friends do, but I like them in theory. But Arsenal, Gunners, the logo is my number 1.
Well, I
So-
can't tell
so-
you. Go ahead, Mike.
please. Because all I heard was Orlando Magic.
I hate you.
Because I almost thought about adding a 5th honorable mention, Patrick. And
You mean it's on top 10 list?
And going with the Columbus Blue Jackets and the alternate logo.
What?
Oh, the one with the cannon.
Have you never seen that one?
Oh, they have one with a cannon.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The alternate logo with the
I don't
cannon.
remember, so you have to show me a picture of it. But okay,
It's pretty similar
It's
to
never
what
been good.
And on that,
that's trash.
Let me see.
That's a trash. That's just.
I thought it would look different than that. I don't know.
That's
That
a
looks
that's
like
a
a Civil
generic
War
like
era.
stock logo photo.
Old
from the
wooden
Civil
ship.
War.
Yeah, that's very Civil War.
How
Yes.
was that
What you
any
trying to say?
illustration? You also-
What are you trying to say, Todd?
No.
He is a Mississippi State fan, so you know how they roll in Stark Vegas.
When we do college logos, I'm gonna pick
Pretty
like
cool.
Michigan, Rutgers, all the ones that are just a plain fucking letter.
And that's fine.
Notre Dame.
Do it.
No, it at least has some design to it.
Even got a little
Yeah,
bit.
not their uniform.
Fucking
All right, do you have any more professional teams on your list?
So technically, you had a top 3 list.
You're right. It's my list, and at least I didn't have 15 of them. And on that controversial fucking fuck up. Wagons out.
Wagons.
Wagons out.